Afternoon, Rowan. I think it's only you and me this morning so far.
Hello, Jenny. How are you doing? You okay?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Not too bad.
Good. What's on the agenda today?
Oh, we're talking testimonials.
Okay. Yeah, nice refresher, because I know we've fallen behind a little bit on those, I've got to say.
It's just really getting back into it, isn't it? It's the one of the things that I think we all know we should be doing, but we don't perhaps do quite as much of it as we should.
Yes, and maybe the structure, I'm sure you'll go through it, a nice refresher, but the structure of when to do it, the right clients to do it with, and maybe how to word it as well.
Yeah, well, we've got some resources that give you maybe some template wording that perhaps you can pass to your clients, so write it for them, and some different ways of helping them to write it. So hi Beth and Stephen, welcome on board. Feel free to put your camera on to say hi in the chat box. Tell me what you've been up to today. So here at AVM, we are currently running I'm actually in the hotel that we're currently running our first live masterclass since March 2020. So we've actually got people in the room with us, which is great. Good turnout. I think everybody that said they were coming turned up, which is great. Everybody seems to be enjoying it. So what have you guys been up to?
We've had a big push for tax returns. I think maybe off the advice of yourselves, we gave ourselves an internal deadline of the end of October. And our clients have actually been very good at providing us with the information. So it's been a bit manic, actually, just trying to achieve that new deadline that we've set. But we're making good progress.
Excellent. Well, that's it. If you get a lot of it done now, then you're going to have a much nicer January.
Yes.
So I'm just working through my computer and turning everything off so that hopefully people don't contact me. And we'll just do that. Excellent. So we've got Amrat here as well, and Chidi, welcome to both of you. So hi Beth, you've been catching up with some CPD. Any particular CPD? Is it tax related, or what else? What CPD is it you've been doing? So feel free to put your mics on and your cameras and chat to me. So we'll just give it one more minute, just to see if there's any more latecomers, and then we will get started. So I've mentioned to Rowan while we were just, excellent, management accounting, excellent, brushing up on your skills for advisory. Excellent stuff. If you want any guidance or help or support with the finding tools and resources in System Builder that can help with that, just let me know, Beth, and we can take a look at that and perhaps book a session to go through it if you need any help. So as mentioned, today we're going to be looking at a couple of tools that we've got in System Builder. One of them is for getting testimonials from your clients. So how many of you currently get testimonials from your clients on a regular basis and a systemized process? On your to-do list. Excellent. It is one of those things that unfortunately does end up right down at the bottom of people's to-do list, and there is so much you can do with the testimonials that you get. Yeah, absolutely, Rowan. We're the same. You know, you put it to the top of your list, don't you, for a little while and really go for it. And then it just sort of dies. So there are ways in which you can build it into what it is that you do and into everything that you do. And one of those ways, I will touch on it now, but I'm not going to bring up the system for it, is when you have a meeting with your client, have it on the meeting agenda. How are we doing? Ask for feedback. If they say that you're doing great, then ask for a testimonial. So what we're actually going to look at today is the different tools you have available as advisory members, actually predominantly for most of these, but the tools you have available in System Builder to help you to get testimonials easy. And that's the key thing I want to look at, because we all know the power of testimonials, but it's how you can get those easy for you, easy for the clients, and get the words that you want. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen, which I will do now. So you should be able to see on your screen System Builder. So can you all see System Builder? Yep, excellent. So I can't see the chat at the moment. So if you want to speak to me, ask a question, actually unmute yourself and just come on speaker and speak to me. And we'll be able to get started on that. So we have a system in System Builder called How to Get Great Testimonials. Lots and lots of things in here that I just want to point out to you that you can use to help you to do this. So as I mentioned before, every time a client's happy with what you've done for them, I'm going to work all the way through the steps in here, just so that you can see all the things that you've got. So every time a client's happy with what you do for them, ask them for a written testimonial. Now, the easiest thing to do is to ignore that and not do it. When you're in with a client, the easiest thing to do is not to ask them how happy they are. So what I would absolutely suggest that you do is put it on every single meeting agenda that you have. So 2 things on the bottom of every meeting agenda should be, are you happy? To confirm that they are happy with what you've done. And if they are, then that leads into a testimonial. If they're not, then at least you've got the opportunity to remedy it. The second thing that you should always have on there is, who else do you know? There is a caveat with that. You shouldn't be asking that to your D clients or your C clients potentially. You only want to be asking that to your A and B clients. So who else do you know that we could help in the same way that we've helped you? And if they've just said you've done a great job for them, then it really is a no-brainer to be then asking for that referral as well. So 2 things at the end of every meeting that you can be asking for. So you've asked the client, are they happy with what you've done? So you want to ask them for a written testimonial. So this link here is the script. So this is all you've got to say. So when you've made them happy, I'm so pleased that you're really happy with what we've done for you. So in the spirit of being really happy, can I ask you to do something for me? Would you spend 2 or 3 minutes writing a simple testimonial letter that I can put in our testimonial file or on our website? Doesn't need to be long or fancy, just a few sentences of appreciation that I can share with potential customers. And then if they seem unsure, which they quite often will, if it's easy for you, I can draft a few sentences based on what you've just said to me and email them over. And that way, if the words match your sentiments, all you need to do is copy them onto a letter or put them into a new email and send it back to me. Do you think that would be okay? And so that it's easier for other people to understand the way we do things, it's all right to show some of them your letter, isn't it? And to show them that it's come from a real person. So just using that script or something similar to that script means that you can ask them for the testimonial. You can offer to write it themselves, and we've got lots of templates for doing that, so that you get the words in it that you want, but they are going to they're going to have it in the right format if you write it. So absolutely make sure that you ask for the testimonial. As I said, there's a script there for doing that when you're in a meeting with a client. So there's actually a resource here which has some really great questions for getting a testimonial. And it's just it loads up. I'll try loading it again. There we go. So one or two of these resources, by the way, you might have an older version because I've reviewed them and updated them this morning in preparation for running this session. So they might be slightly outdated until tomorrow when we do a big refresh. So this is the testimonial template. So it was in, so can you all see that? So you can see the Word document with testimonial template on there? Yep, excellent. So this is just a way of helping them to articulate what it is that they want to say, but actually you write it down rather than them. And the reason you write it down is because if you try and get them to write it down rather than to speak it out, they tend to get sort of a bit, not cautious, but sort of, oh, I can't really phrase it like that, or I don't really know how to put it. So just get them to say it out loud to you. So get them to answer these questions. You write it down. You can choose to ask if you can record them if you want, rather than writing it, and that way you can get it transcribed, and that'll make the flow of it easier. Or you can just simply sit and write it as they talk to them. So there's 6 questions here. All we're going to do is ask you the questions, write down your answers or record them, get it transcribed, and then we'll turn it into a testimonial. If you're happy with what it is, then what we'll do is just send it to you again. We'll email it to you for you to put on your letterhead. So these questions then, so what was the #1 reason that might have stopped you from working with us? So find out what that one objection was, because if you're wanting to use this to promote your services to new clients, then they might have those same objections. So let's get that out of the way to start with. And what did you find as a result of working with us? So what was the objection compared to the reality? What specifically did you like about our service? So they might say it's a fixed fee, or it's timely. You know, you're always there to answer the questions. So whatever it is, make sure you're writing it down. What 3 other benefits did you get? So you're not just asking for one benefit, you're actually asking for 4 in total. And that really builds on the level of depth in your testimonial. And would you recommend us to someone else? And if so, why? Now, you're not going to be asking this if they've said they've just had really bad service and they're not happy. So by that point, they are going to be happy to recommend you to someone else. And then asking why means that you capture those reasons. So absolutely make sure that you pop that down, and then anything else you'd like to add. So that is the way you can actually build up your testimonial. So for example, it might be something along the lines of, I was a bit wary of working with you because, you know, the fee you quoted me was actually higher than the other people I spoke to. And then what did you find as a result? Your service was absolutely amazing and worth every single penny that I've paid to you. What specifically did you like about the service? The fact that I could phone you up every single time that I got a question and you were there to answer it. three other benefits. You helped me deal with my payroll. You made sure that I had the numbers to look at where I was. Every single month I could see where I was and whether I was making profits. And your team was always on hand to help with any problems that I might have. Would you recommend it to someone else? If so, and if so, why? Yes, I would absolutely recommend it to someone else, because the value that you've brought to my business over the last 12 months has been amazing. Anything else you'd like to add? It's been great working with you. I'm looking forward to working with you in the future. So that's the sort of thing that you're looking for. And then you can build that up into those sentences without the questions. You just reword it so that it doesn't have the questions and it just has the flow. So that's one way of getting your client to write that testimonial. Now, we do have some ready to use testimonials, and there are two different ones here. There are some sound bites and there are some actual full testimonials. So if I go, so you get everything ready and all your tabs open before the presentation, and then you close your laptop for 10 minutes and open it back up, and none of the links have stayed there. So let's open another one. There we go. So ready to use testimonials. So these testimonials are basically out of the box. You can ask your client to put it on their letterhead, to copy and paste it into an email to you. And then obviously you can do a screenshot with the email sort of blanked out for your clients, just the client name and their email blanked out. And they have been designed, the first 5 have been designed to promote and your advisory services and sort of really push those with your clients. So if that's something you're wanting to do and you've done a couple of bits of advisory service with your client, work with your clients, then you might want to get a testimonial like this so that you can promote that to other clients. Or if you haven't yet started in that, doing advisory work with your clients, so you haven't got, you haven't had someone to do that work with, so you can't really get a testimonial from them in this sense, then the final 2 might work for you. And you can just take bits of them to create different testimonials for different clients as well. So you can, you don't have to take them as they are, you can sort of copy and change them. So the first one here is about opening the client's mind, giving them loads of ideas and helping them to work on the business rather than in the business, and to really push the added value in their business as well. Second one here talks about how you talk to them about writing testimonials, because you have to remember that all the tools that you have in System Builder, you can use with your clients. You can help them to write a batch of testimonials that they can use with their customers. You can give them the scripts to help them to do this. So, make sure that you use them for that as well. So this one's about making sure that you use the power of testimonials. Letter 3, someone who really didn't know whether it was worth continuing with the business, and is it all worth it? And we've all got clients like that really don't know whether the hassle and the stress of running a business is worth it. And if you've helped someone to turn that around by making their business life more enjoyable and working on the business more enjoyable, then something like this works really well in that sense. So if you've been working with someone about putting in additional services and products, it might be that you've been working with someone using simple stuff that works, and you've given them loads of ideas and they've implemented a few of those. And this testimonial 4 sort of emphasizes that, how you've been able to help them to really sort of build their business in that area. So if you've started working with someone maybe on, identifying the goals and identifying where they want to go within their business, if they're sort of a bit lost, a bit at crossroads, not sure where the business is going, and you've helped them to work out the direction they want to take it in, then perhaps letter 5 is the one for you. So again, you can take bits and pieces from each of them, but it just means that you've got sort of sound bites or bits that you can pull in to build up testimonials that your clients don't have to write, but they do have their sentiments there. You know, if the clients are saying this stuff to you, build it into a testimonial and get them to sign it. And then a couple of toned down letters. So we're looking really at professional, efficient ways in which you're doing things, returning my calls, giving me stuff in plain English, fixed fees. So that's a fairly easy one for the majority of your clients, because I would imagine that every one of you is doing that. And then again, the last one in here, help all the colleagues of handling my affairs quickly, efficiently, professionally. You're always there when I need you. You've made everything so much easier. So yeah, 7 pre-written testimonials that you can use for your clients. You can take bits and pieces of them. They can go on letters. They can go on emails. And then you can put them on your website. And then we've got some soundbite ones as well. So we'll just pull that up. So if your clients have said a comment to you on the phone, you can look on here to see which of these were, if the sentiment is there, but the sentence isn't quite right, then perhaps look at some of these just sound bites that your client is happy for you to put on your website with their name attached. So, you can have a picture of your client. The practice has helped us to become more successful and profitable, and their name and business name underneath it. Just, to really emphasize the little things. And you can use these sound bites in maybe newsletters or email campaigns that you send out and that sort of thing. So again, make sure that that you've got those. So loads and loads of different ones. Their free proactivity service is incredible because the ideas that they come up with. My only regret is that we didn't start using them earlier. It's great to find accountants who can make a real difference to your business, as well as doing all the usual tax and accounting stuff. And that's what we're here to do, isn't it? To make a massive difference. So there are some simple rules here for writing effective testimonials. So if you're going to write one for your client, these are the things you need to be sort of conscious about. So you need to make sure it fits on if you're going to print it, you need to make sure it fits on a single sheet of paper. You don't want it to go over 2 sheets. Actually, the 5th one down, it reads as if unrequested. You can't start it with, as requested, this is my testimonial. You can't start it with, to whom it may concern. It has to be addressed to you as an individual or as a practice. So, Joe Blogs and the team at, or just to you or just to the practice. It'd be great if it includes things like, since working with you, we have done this, 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 and this. You've really impressed us by. It doesn't have to end with a thank you. It can start with a thank you as well. Starting with a thank you is a really good way to start a testimonial. But as long as there is a thank you in there somewhere, you know, I'd really like to thank you for the work that you've done this year in helping me to grow my business. Since working with you, we've doubled our turnover and tripled our profits, and we're far less stressed than we were 12 months ago. And we feel really, really great about the direction that our business is going in, and the support that you've given us in doing that. So those, again, sort of words that you want to put in there. I'm really looking forward to working with you in the coming years and with the development of our partnership. So these are just some ideas of what to put in it, some ways to sort of maybe start sentences. You perhaps only want 3 or 4 sentences or paragraphs in there. It doesn't have to be massively long. It has to be obviously what matches their sentiments. But if you were to write it, send it through to them, and if they're happy with it, then they've just got to either stick it on their letterhead and send it back to you, or copy and paste it into an email and email it back to you that way. So many people are actually, before I do that, I'll just come on to this one. I'm only going to touch on this. You can ask for a testimonial in writing. It might be that you've done a feedback form, you know, an annual feedback form, and someone's given you great feedback, and you can drop them an email or a letter asking them to do that. Not as powerful as picking the phone up. And I do know how heavy the phone is to pick it up and speak to people and to make that phone call, but it's 100 times better. So if at all possible, don't do that. Actually pick up the phone and speak to people. But one of the things that we don't do, if you do put the system in place to get the testimonials, that's great. But then we quite often just don't do anything with them, which is a complete waste of time. So then it's important to look at different ways in which you can use them. So here, if we open this tab, so lots and lots of ways here for you to be able to use those testimonials. So absolutely include them on your website. Add them to your email footers. So I don't know whether you've seen our email footer recently. We have a link to the website to say what people, you know, to find out what people are saying about us. Click here, and we have our feedback score on it, because, you know, we ask you to, at the end of each call that we have with you, we ask you to fill in the feedback forms. So we look at those scores that are coming through, the averages of those, and we have that on our email footers as well. So you can absolutely put them on there, or put a link to your website where you can have them on there. Include them on your social media channels. So, you know, I've just had a quick post. I've just had a really great testimonial from a client that they've said this. You know, if it's a soundbite, you can put it straight in there, or you can put a link to it on your website, or even a picture of it on LinkedIn or something like that works as well. You can put them in frames and hang them on the wall in your reception area. If you still have a reception area, or if you're still going into the office, we are getting back to that position now. So make sure that you have them in your reception area. If you don't have them on the walls, actually make sure you have them in a presentation folder in your meeting rooms, so that they look lovely. You know, it might be that you have it open on a certain page before the client comes in. You don't want to leave the client waiting too long, but you know, if they're in there for maybe a minute or two and they can just have a flick through, that's great. If you go out to see people, carry a folder with you when you're visiting prospective clients, to allow them to sort of see the sort of things that people are saying about you. If you send your quotes out in the post or by email to your clients, attach copies to that as well. Any people that you have referral arrangements with, or sort of partnership arrangements, make sure they have copies of them so that they can see, and maybe have a full binder to give to each of them as well, so that they can see the sort of feedback that you're getting, and they can share that with their clients as well. Quote them in brochures, leaflets, adverts, other marketing literature. Quote them on your emails that you send out, and if you send direct mails out, quote them in there as well. So make sure that you use them everywhere, and they don't just get scanned and put on a file on your server and then nothing happens with them, because that's a real waste of time and effort from you and from the clients as well. So video testimonials are another way that you can get testimonials from your clients. I'm not going to go into the whole system here. I'm just going to sort of go through how you can possibly do that. And, you know, putting them on your website is absolutely fantastic, because when you've got real people in front of you and they're saying great things, and it is so easy to do these days. Most of us have a reasonably up-to-date smartphone, and you know, if you've got a phone with you, then all you've got to do is set it up on a little tripod, put it in front of you and the client if you're in the same room, and capture that video. And just, you know, you can ask them, you know, that the 6 questions I showed you before, you can ask them those questions, and just get them to repeat back in their own words what the answers to those questions are. And then most computers have free software that you can download, whether it be Windows or Mac, or you can just pay a little bit and get a piece of software to download it and just edit yourself out, really. And then just have your client answering the questions on there. Or you can keep yourself in as a question and answer. You could absolutely do that on Zoom as well. We're all comfortable using Zoom now. We're all completely comfortable using Zoom. And so what you can do is get just yourself and the person you're talking to side by side on Zoom in a gallery format. Make sure you're recording. Ask them the questions and just capture it, and then you've got that there as well, haven't you? So again, really, really easy. You can put those on your website, you can put those on YouTube, you can use those in your social media posts. They don't want to be too long, you know, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You don't really need any longer than that. But if you have a number of them, you can separate them into the different challenges that people face and put it like that on your website. So it might be, you know, you've got a number of people that had cash flow problems and you've helped them to overcome those. So you've got a section on that. It could be that you had people that were working too many hours and too stressed. And so you have a section on that as well. So people can sort of navigate, you can get people via social media and your emails to navigate to your website to look at specific video testimonials that have the same problems that they have, and then have a call to action to get them back on as well. So as well as video testimonials, so just bear with me 1 second. Oops. As well as video testimonials, you can also do sort of success stories and case studies. So there are a number of tools in System Builder here as well, where you can sort of pull together, I mean, loads and loads of examples on the AVM website as well, where we've done it. Actually have the success story looking at where you were, what the accountant did, or what you did with the help of the accountant, as in your client, with the help of you to make that change, and where you are now. So if you make it tell that story, you can also help your clients to promote themselves with it, you know, as long as it doesn't sort of talk about how much they've increased the prices or increased the sales or whatever, you know, it depends on the story itself, but the client can use it as well. You can help them to create case studies that work for you and for them. And once you've collected them, they're also great to have on your website as well, so people can see how you've helped these people. So, you know, it's important to get the different types of sort of client stories, be it a testimonial and a thank you, or a case study showing how you specifically help people. It is a big job, and we absolutely suggest that you get your team involved with doing this. There's no reason at all why the person, it doesn't have to be the business owner that does this. It can be, so you might have someone in your team that is really great at just chatting with your customers and talking to them. It might even be, you know, the person who answers the phone and deals with sort of your initial first contact with your clients, because they might be the people that are able to help that client to express how they're feeling, rather than the accountant that's done the work. So find the person in your organization that's the best one for doing this. And it might be different people. So you might have someone who does the that helps to write that testimonial and sends it out to the client. You might have someone else that's putting it on the website. You might have someone who does the video interview, but then someone else who edits it. And that's how we do it here at AVN. You know, we have different people that edit, that actually do the interviews. And then someone else will actually put that on the website and create a story from it. So play to your team's strengths and to their enjoyment as well. Obviously, the key thing to do here is to measure what you're doing. So measure how many testimonials you're collecting, measure how many testimonials you've used. There is a template here. It is a very basic Word document, but it just gives you some ideas of things that you can record. So how many testimonials do you want to collect? How many you've got? If you put, you know, it might be that you've got a slightly bigger team and you put in place a bit of a competition. So how would that work there? And who's got the most there? So these are just some ideas of the things that you can be recording. You can put them onto your one-page plan. So that is the ideal place to put them. So make sure that you do that and put them on there as well. And make sure that you are using them and not just collecting them. So I just want to cover one more thing today. Does anyone have any comments, questions about creating testimonials for your clients? or writing them, or how else to use them? So how many testimonials are each of you going to collect in the month of October? Oh, no comments coming in the chat for this one, guys. Come on. How many clients are you going to be seeing where you give them your accounts and tax returns, where you've done a really good job for them and you could ask for a testimonial? You've got to get at least 2, surely. No commitments. Well done, Rowan. 2 to 5. Excellent, Beth. That's great. You got 2 yesterday. So what are you going to do with those 2? Are they going on your website? Brilliant. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Your client, your prospects won't know how good you are. You can, we talk about positioning yourself differently. Amrat, brilliant, excellent. You need to get those on the website. Yeah, we talk about positioning yourself differently in social media, on your website and stuff. But the real proof as to how well you're doing is what your clients are saying about you. And so if you can find an easy way for your clients to express how they feel that doesn't take up much of their time, and it doesn't take up much of your time, and it really helps them to express how they're feeling about how you've helped them, then it makes a massive difference. How would you go about getting testimonials across different platforms? Google, Yelp, Facebook? I would just ask. I would absolutely just ask. We always advocate getting feedback from your clients as well. So in different places, you could ask for different things. So it might be that one time you ask for a testimonial, the next time you speak to them, you ask if they're happy to put a review on Google or on Yelp, and practice what you preach. Talk to your clients about how important it is for them, because we're wanting to help our clients to grow their businesses. So explain to them everything I've just shown to you. Explain to them what they should be doing to get testimonials, and how they should be putting them on the websites, and how they should be asking for Google reviews. And then say, and in the spirit of that, I'd really appreciate it if you could go on and give me a Google review. So absolutely talk to your clients about it and practice what you preach. Because if you're not doing it, then it's difficult to talk to them about it. But if they can see that you're doing it, if they can see you're asking for testimonials, and that you're asking for, the Google reviews, and you're asking for feedback to ensure that you're on the right track and you're giving value. If they can see you're doing that, and then you're posting that in your social media or on your website, then when it comes to you talking to your clients about doing the same thing, they can see that you're already doing this, and that will automatically increase their value perception of you as well. So yeah, just make sure you ask, and ideally face to face, as well as, it's great having, the systems that we do, where we do a piece of work with you, we have a call, and then we ask for feedback. That's absolutely great. And that we've put an automated system in for that. So by all means, make sure you've got your automated systems in, but also make sure you've got your other systems in as well that are face to face. And we tend to do at we tend to have different places where we ask. So you'll find that if we do an automated system, we perhaps ask for a Google review. If you give us a success story in a call, we might ask you if you're happy to share that with us, and either Shane or Susan will do an interview with you to either get that written down or on video. And when you become an approved member, we ask for a written testimonial. So we've got different places in our business where we ask for the different types of things. And so you need to be looking really at where you can build it in and what is the easiest place to do that. One of the best times to ask for it for referrals and also for testimonials is when you first start working with a client, because having made that initial commitment to work with you, they're happy about the decision that they've made. You've sort of really wowed them with helping them to look at their goals and aspirations and where they want to go. You're starting to help to pull stuff together so that you've got all their numbers at your fingertips. So at that time, it's a really great time to ask for referrals and testimonials. So don't feel you've got to work with a client for 12 months before you start asking for those things as well. Because at the point of them agreeing to work with you and starting to work with you, asking for a testimonial reinforces that it's the right decision, if you know what I mean. So it's worth just asking for them at that point as well. So there's just one more resource I want to show you today, which is this one, Celebrating Your Clients' Successes. It's a bit cheesy, I have to say, but the idea behind it is incredibly valuable. So look for ways in which you can find successes that your clients had. So what little successes have they had that you can celebrate? So, when we came on today, the very first person that came on to this meeting was Rowan, and he was telling me how they've had a push at getting people to bring the stuff in to do tax returns early, so you don't have the issue in January, which is absolutely fantastic, Rowan. So well done for getting that done. I know it means that you're busy now, but better to get it out of the way before Christmas, and then you can have a nice relaxing Christmas knowing that January is not going to be too bad. So, what are the successes that you're having that you can celebrate, but actually what your clients are having that you can celebrate with them? And it's just about saying, well done. So you can do, this suggests a certificate, a press release, phoning them up, or a letter to say, well done, a Moonpig card. It's 5 minutes and a fiver, isn't it? A Moonpig card. Just to say, congratulations. And, we've given you a number of different things, some ideas on what they might have achieved. Some might have reached sales of 1 million for the first time, or 100,000, or they might have got profits of 1 million for the first time, or they might be in profit for the first time in 5 years. They might have exceeded the sales target. They might have taken the weekend off. They might have had a week's holiday. We've got cumulative sales here, which you've been doing if you've been doing the accounts for a few years, you can see the cumulative sales. So what are the milestones? What are the things that they wanted to achieve that they have achieved? However small it is, it doesn't matter. However small it is, and choose a way of celebrating that success with them. It could be just an email. It could be a card in the post. It could be a phone call. So lots of different things. It could be that you are able to build something into your CRM or into your accounting system that triggers these points for people? I don't know whether that's possible, but is there something that can trigger these points? When you have a conversation with your client and you ask them about the challenges, also ask them about the things, the successes that they've had, so that you can help to share those successes with them. And quite often those successes have come because of you helping them. So you might have helped them by sorting the pricing out, which means that they've got more profits. You might have helped them by delegation and putting some systems in place so they've been able to take the weekend off. You might have helped them by taking the bookkeeping off them, meaning that they've got no stress because you're just doing the bookkeeping, which they're paying for, but they absolutely love. So what are the things? What are the successes? And when you've got that success, you can do a number of things. So you can send out a certificate to them. So the easiest thing to do here is go online, Amazon, Staples, all the other, the places you get your stationery from, and get some really nice quality certificate paper that goes through the printer. You put the words on it, print it out, put it in a frame, take it out to your client, or you can laminate it and post it to your client. If you do that, you can guarantee it goes on the wall. Make sure you've got your logo on there. Make sure it's obviously got your firm's name on there, and just put a description of what they've achieved on there. And then we've got a press release. So press releases are very hit and miss as to whether you will get them in the press or not. Quite often that doesn't matter, because what you can do is you can write the press release and send it to your client and say, I'm sending this to the local papers because I really think, this is worth celebrating. And get a photo of your client, either with the certificate, or, you could have a plaque made for them, a glass plaque that they can put on their shelf. So you can have a picture of you presenting the plaque or presenting the certificate that goes along with it. Or, if they've been able to play golf for the first time in 2 years because they've been too busy, get a picture with the golf clubs. So those sort of pictures will really, really increase the chance of the press release getting in the paper or online on their online paper service, however they choose to do it. And you can email it to all your local editors. If it's a slow news day, they will print it. I can guarantee that. When we worked in an accountancy practice, we got loads in. We did the most random articles with the strangest pictures, and because the timing was right and they got very little other news, we got them in. And that can it's increasing your client's profile, it's increasing your profile because you've helped them to get there. So how many times can you do this with your clients? And what are the successes that you can build on with that? So what do people think of using that with their clients, with getting how to celebrate the successes, and perhaps giving them cards or certificates or plaques and getting press releases done for them? Do you think it'd be worthwhile with your clients, particularly your A clients that you're wanting to sort of really push to help them to improve the business? Do you think that's something that you could do? Yeah, even if you don't go down the press release route, although I would recommend that you do, because there are loads and loads of different templates of press releases in System Builder that you can just tweak, and they're all 1 page long. You can just tweak them and have a mail merge set up to all your local editors. So it shouldn't take too long. You know, you can have someone in your team that's responsible for filling in the gaps and sending it off with a picture. Even if you've got stock pictures of the partners or whatever, a picture is better. A picture of a partner just stood there is better than no picture at all. But an interesting picture is likely to get you published. And then have someone responsible for just checking them for checking those papers for the next couple of weeks to see whether you appear. And then if you do, really push it and make the most of it, push it out on social media for your client and also for you as well. So I'm about done for today. Thank you for coming and joining me. Do you have any comments or questions or anything you'd like to share with me before we finish today's session? Hopefully you've taken some ideas of how you can use your testimonials and really get those embedded and get those systems embedded within your practice, so that you're not only collecting them systematically, but then you're using them systematically as well. Because I'd hate for you to go to the trouble and effort of collecting them and then not using them as well.